Lesson 12 for March 13 to 19, Desire of Nations, read by Dr. Percy Harrold. Friday, March 19. From the book The Desire of Ages, page 237, we read, Jesus stood before the people as a living expositor of the prophecies concerning himself. Explaining the words he had read, he spoke of the Messiah as a reliever of the oppressed, a liberator of captives, a healer of the afflicted, restoring sight to the blind, and revealing to the world the light of truth. His impressive manner and the wonderful import of his words thrilled the hearers with a power they had never felt before. The tide of divine influence broke every barrier down. Like Moses, they beheld the invisible. As their hearts were moved upon by the Holy Spirit, they responded with fervent amens and praises to the Lord. End of quote. And from the same author in the book Faith and Works, page 33, the day of God's vengeance cometh, the day of the fierceness of his wrath. Who will abide the day of his coming? Men have hardened their hearts against the Spirit of God, but the arrows of his wrath will pierce where the arrows of conviction could not. God will not far hence arise to deal with the sinner. Will the false shepherd shield the transgressor in that day? Can he be excused who went with the multitude in the path of disobedience? Will popularity or numbers make any guiltless? These are the questions which the careless and indifferent should consider and settle for themselves. End of quote. And here's a discussion question for this week. A Seventh-day Adventist pastor thoughtfully stated that his number one problem in ministry is the exclusiveness of church members who do not want others to join them. How can Christians take the love, hope, and good news of Christ's kingdom to all the world so that others can have an opportunity to be saved before the end comes, when they do not even want to accept people who go out of their way to show up in their church? Matthew 24, verse 14, And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in all the world as a witness to all the nations, and then the end will come. So, to summarize this week's lesson, God purifies an unjust society by removing the rebels and by restoring the remnant who turn from the sins that have separated them from him. Due to the blessings of God's presence, people from other nations are drawn to God and his people so that they also can enjoy the time of God's favour that is proclaimed and delivered by the Messiah. Inside Story. Our mission story this week is titled, I Want to Plant a Church, and it's by Andrew McChesney of Adventist Mission. Julio Ovalle was bursting with enthusiasm when he returned home from a global mission conference organized for church members across Mexico. He excitedly told his wife, Maria Diaz, about what he had learned at the event in January 2017. Now I want to plant a church, he said. Maria liked the idea. Let's do it, she said. But where to start? Julio wanted to reach out to a new neighborhood, and he thought a good way to start would be to teach people about essential health principles such as air, water, sunshine, and rest. Julio and Maria won support from the North Mexican Union to work as volunteer global mission pioneers, and their church pastor also backed the plans. But some church members remembered that a previous attempt to plant a church had failed. This plan will never work, said one. You won't get any good results, said another. Julio, Maria, and their 2 adult daughters donned bright green T-shirts bearing the name of the health program, I Want to Live Healthfully, and began to knock on people's doors. At each house they invited people to sign up for health courses at home and healthy cooking classes at church. The family worked intensively for 4 weeks and finally signed up the first person, a 60-year-old man named Rogelio, for Bible studies. When church members saw the family's diligence and learned about Rogelio, a few donned bright green T-shirts and joined them in going door to door. Before long, the group swelled to 15 people. The church members worked incessantly for 6 months. Seeing a growing number of people studying the Bible, 𝐿𝐿𝐼 decided to form a small group to meet on Sabbath afternoons. He announced the plan to the church in February 2017 and invited more church members to join the effort. The church endorsed the small group, and 10 members accepted the invitation to get involved. Moreover, a church member who rented out a hall for birthdays and weddings offered the place free of charge to the small group. 25 Bible study participants showed up for the small group's first meeting. 3 months after being endorsed as a small group, the local conference recognised it as a branch Sabbath school. 17 months later, in September 2018, it became a church. Today, Puerto del Cielo, Door of Heaven, Seventh-day Adventist Church, has 35 members, including 24 people baptised through Julio and Maria's health classes. Sabbath attendance reaches 50 people. Plans are underway to construct a church building. Our goal is to raise up the church and to raise up more souls for the kingdom, said Julio, aged 46, and there's a lovely photograph here to the left of Maria and Julio.
Hi there. Thanks for watching this video on the Advent-band Ministries YouTube channel. Please subscribe and click the bell icon to be alerted whenever we upload new videos. So, until we meet him in the clouds, may God continue to bless you.
This lesson was read by Dr. Percy Harrold for Christian Services for the Blind. It's supported by the Sabbath School Department and Hope Channel Australia, and is rebroadcast by Christian Record Services and through podcasts at It Is Written in the United States, Hope Channel Germany, and through Apple iTunes and SoundCloud. Remember, God is always faithful.